I just want to check in to see if everybody's feeling okay.
I responded back to him and I said, with all due respect, sir.
A teenager, I had like an existential crisis to try to figure out.
All right, buckle up. Because Candace Owens and Elon Musk just dropped enough digital dynamite to make Twitter look like a war zone. Yep, you heard that right. The conservative queen of controversy and the world's richest meme lord just tag teamed to spill some serious tea about Charlie Kirk's widow. And let's just say, this one's uglier than a Twitter fight over pineapple pizza. They didn't just hint, they exposed. And depending on who you ask, Erica Kirk just went from heartbroken widow to political femme fatale with a secret agenda. So today, we're breaking down the 10 wildest revelations from this unfolding drama, from whispers of hidden motives to Elon Musk's savage subtweets. Let's get into it. Candace Owens lights the match. Candace Owens didn't just walk into this story. She kicked the door off its hinges and lit a match on her way in. Leave it to Candace to turn a moment of quiet speculation into a political wildfire. During her live stream, she didn't name names. Oh no, she's far too skilled for that. She just raised an eyebrow, paused for dramatic effect, and said something along the lines of, sometimes the enemy isn't outside the house. It's the one sitting at your dinner table. Boom. That single line detonated across social media like a gossip grenade. Within hours, X was on fire. Comment sections exploded with, wait, is she talking about Erica Kirk? People started connecting dots faster than a conspiracy theorist with free Wi-Fi. Candace didn't accuse, she implied, and that's her power. She knows her audience. She knows that silence after a hint speaks louder than any direct accusation. And let's be honest, she's mastered the art of controversy like it's an Olympic sport. This is the same Candace who can start a civil war in a comment section with just one metaphor. So when she even hinted that Charlie Kirk's death might have had layers, the internet went full detective mode. Old clips resurfaced, screenshots got reanalyzed, and every micro expression Erica Kirk ever made became evidence. Candace's delivery was surgical, calm, serious, almost mournful, which made it hit even harder. She didn't scream, she whispered truth bombs, and her audience, already trained to decode what Candace really means, did the rest. She basically said, you do the math, and the internet pulled out spreadsheets. By the next morning, #Erica Kirk was trending right next to #Candace Owens was right. News outlets started writing polite little think pieces titled things like, did Candace Owens just hint at a conservative cover-up? Meanwhile, Erica's PR team probably aged 5 years overnight. And here's where it gets even juicier. Elon Musk saw that storm brewing, and instead of staying out of it, he walked right in with his flamethrower tweets. Elon Musk enters the chat, because if Candace lit the match, Elon Musk didn't bring a fire extinguisher. He brought gasoline and a verified account. Elon Musk enters the chats. If Candace Owens was the spark, Elon Musk was the flamethrower who said, why not make it global? Right after Candace dropped her cryptic bombshell, Elon swooped in like a billionaire hawk who just spotted chaos trending. No hashtags, no explanations, just one tweet. Funny how truth hides behind charity. That was it. 10 words. But coming from Elon, that's like Zeus throwing a lightning bolt during a candlelight vigil. The internet lost its collective mind. Commenters went full CSI mode. Some thought he was subtweeting Erica Kirk's foundation. Others claimed it was about fake virtue in politics. A few conspiracy buffs even decided Elon had insider knowledge about Charlie's death. Within minutes, the tweet had over 50 million views. Because Elon doesn't post thoughts, he posts global events. His replies section turned into a digital courtroom. Team Candace versus Team Erica, arguing like it was the Super Bowl of speculation. Then came the memes. Endless memes. Elon with a magnifying glass, Elon as Sherlock Holmes. Elon with Candace photoshopped beside him holding a torch labeled truth. The algorithm was eating good that day. But here's where it got even wilder. Elon liked one of Candace's clips from her live stream. The very moment she said, some people pretend to mourn when they're really maneuvering. That little blue heart was basically a digital signature saying, yep, I see what you see. And in Musk fashion, he didn't clarify, he just kept tweeting random stuff about truth algorithms, bots, and manufactured sympathy. People started connecting every dot, real or imagined. Some swore Elon and Candace were teaming up to expose a deeper network of political manipulation. Others thought Elon was just trolling for engagement, but either way, it worked. Overnight, Erica's name was trending again, this time sandwiched between #Elon knows and #let her grieve. What's fascinating is how Elon Elon uses mystery as marketing. Every time he tweets something vague, millions fill in the blanks for him. It's like performance art for the attention economy. He doesn't have to explain, we do it for him. Meanwhile, Erica's camp reportedly went radio silent. No posts, no statements, just eerie quiet, which only made people more curious. And that's the internet's kryptonite. Silence. So now you've got Candace whispering fire on one side, Elon tossing cryptic gasoline on the other, and the audience in the middle screaming, wait, what is even happening? In 24 hours, a few vague sentences turned into an international guessing game, complete with think pieces, reaction videos, and hashtags that wouldn't die. The widow's PR glow up, and just when the internet thought it had the story figured out, Erica Kirk re-emerged, smiling, styled, and suddenly camera ready, because nothing says I'm totally fine, like a public comeback that looks more like a brand launch. The widow's PR glow up, so after Candace lit the match and Elon turned it into a firestorm, everyone waited for Erica Kirk to crumble under the pressure, but instead of retreating into quiet mourning, she did the opposite. She launched a rollout. Picture this, the internet still dissecting every eyebrow twitch from Candace's clip when Erica steps back into the public eye, and it's not in black mourning attire or with tissues in hand. Nope, it's studio lights, professional makeup, fresh hair, and a new show announcement like she's debuting a campaign. The caption, something wholesome and polished like, continuing Charlie's legacy of light. The response, half of social media gasped and the other half slow clapped. Critics called it the PR glow up no one asked for. Supporters said she was turning pain into purpose. But to the gossip machine, it looked like a woman who traded grief for branding. Within hours, marketing analysts, yes, marketing analysts, were on X breaking down her color palette, tone, and caption strategy. Notice the use of soft beige and gold. One tweeted, "It's giving Saint Widow energy meets influencer revival arc. You can't make this stuff up." And that's when the theory spread. Was this a genuine tribute or the opening act of a long game image reboot? The timing felt too perfect. A brand new podcast, new speaking tour, scheduled appearances. It didn't feel like grief. It felt like a media calendar. Even people who wanted to support her found themselves uncomfortable. They'd scroll through her posts, candles, curated memories, slow motion reels, and whisper, why does this feel like an ad? But to be fair, Erica wasn't stumbling through grief. She was directing it. She controlled her lighting, her angles, her captions. And maybe that's what freaked people out. In an era where messy vulnerability sells, she looked too composed, too steady, too curated. Some pundits said she was just handling her pain professionally. Others said it was manufactured mourning with a filter pack. But regardless of which side you were on, everyone agreed. Erica's silence was no longer quiet. It was strategic. And behind the scenes, rumor had it her team was doing quiet damage control, unfollowing certain accounts, deleting old clips, reshaping the narrative to make her look untouchable. That's not coincidence. That's choreography. Meanwhile, the internet played armchair psychologist. She's in denial, said one camp. She's an operator, said the other. And every new photo, every perfect smile became a new chapter in what some were calling the Erica Kirk rebrand. Turning Point insiders start talking. But here's where it stops being just about optics. Because when people inside Turning Point USA started whispering that this glow up wasn't just personal, it was political, the story took a sharp left turn. Turning Point insiders start talking. When the public drama hit peak absurdity, the real fireworks started, not on Twitter, but inside Turning Point USA. The same hallways that once echoed with Charlie Kirk's pep talks suddenly turned into a rumor factory with better acoustics than a TMZ newsroom. Whispers started leaking from anonymous insiders. You know, the kind who text journalists from burner phones and begin every sentence with, "You didn't hear this from me," but they claimed the organization wasn't mourning. It was mutating. New faces popping up in leadership meetings. Longtime staff getting iced out, and somehow everything led back to one name, Erica Kirk. According to these insiders, the shift was fast, like overnight fast. Emails, budgets, priorities, suddenly everything that once needed Charlie's sign-off was running straight through Erica. They said she wasn't just continuing his legacy, she was rewiring it. The vibe inside TPUSA reportedly flipped from grassroots movement to corporate PR house with Bible verses. And remember, this wasn't your usual office gossip. These were people who'd worked shoulder to shoulder with Charlie for years. The folks who knew his passwords, his habits, even his coffee order. When they start saying the place feels different, people listen. One insider claimed that right after Charlie's memorial, certain media deals were fast-tracked. Another swore they overheard talk about a rebranding opportunity. The word infiltration started bouncing around in Telegram chats, like someone had turned political grief into an episode of Homeland. And then came the spicy part, the so-called spook theory. Some staffers apparently half-joked, that TPUSA was crawling with intelligence types. 3-letter agencies, one anonymous post read, have been attending our events longer than some interns. The claim went viral because, of course, the internet can't resist a good spy plot, especially one with ring lights and Bible quotes. But behind all the noise, there was something undeniable. Erica Kirk was suddenly everywhere. She wasn't hiding. She was hosting, smiling, organizing panels, calling donors by their first names. And to critics, that wasn't empowerment, it was occupation. They said she'd built herself a political empire out of the ashes. Meanwhile, the rest of the conservative sphere watched like it was reality TV. Some defended her. She's just keeping her husband's dream alive. Others called it a takeover worthy of an HBO drama. One commentator even joked, "Forget House of Cards, this is House of Kirk." By this point, Candace Owens' original insinuations started looking less like gossip and more like prophecy. Her line about the enemy at the dinner table? Yeah, suddenly it sounded like she'd been hinting at this. The spy wife conspiracy. Because when infiltration talk went mainstream and the memes started labeling Erica as the spy wife of Turning Point, things went from political gossip to full-on espionage fan fiction. The spy wife conspiracy. Now this is where the internet put down the popcorn and picked up the magnifying glass. Because once people started whispering infiltration, it took about 5 minutes for that to morph into something juicier. Espionage. Enter the spy wife theory. According to online sleuths with too much time and Wi-Fi, Erica Kirk wasn't just the grieving widow. She was allegedly a political plant, a honeypot, maybe even an asset groomed to infiltrate conservative circles. Yeah, it went there. Clips began resurfacing. Music videos, old reality show cameos, red carpet interviews where she laughed a little too perfectly. Commenters froze every frame like it was evidence in a Netflix documentary. One viral post read, "Notice her hand gesture at 0:14. That's not grief, that's a signal." It didn't matter if it was nonsense. It looked suspicious. And on the internet, looks suspicious equals case closed. Podcasters ran wild with it. One called her the conservative Mata Hari. Another said she'd pulled a long con worthy of a Bond reboot. Meme pages turned her into the TPUSA Black Widow, complete with dark sunglasses and fake CIA credentials. And because Candace Owens and Elon Musk were still orbiting the narrative, every like, every emoji, every vague tweet became proof of secret knowledge. Of course, nobody could produce actual evidence. No files, no documents, just vibes and heavily edited TikToks. But perception is reality online. People didn't need receipts, they needed a good story. And Erica's calm, camera-ready demeanor was too good a story to ignore. Meanwhile, inside Turning Point, paranoia spread. Who could be trusted? Who was leaking? One anonymous employee said staff were suddenly terrified to even text jokes because screenshots are the new subpoenas. By now, it wasn't just about Erica's image, it was about control of the narrative. She was either the victim of the year or the ultimate manipulator, and the line between the two kept blurring with every repost, and the more she stayed silent, the louder the theories got. It's the perfect 21st century paradox. If you speak, you're defensive. If you're quiet, you're guilty. Candace and Elon didn't need to say another word. Their initial sparks had already set the rumor mill to self-sustain. The funeral that broke the internet. But then came the moment that pushed everything over the edge. The event that turned whispers into wildfire. The cameras rolled, the casket gleamed, and the widow's every movement became the world's favorite conspiracy clip. The funeral was supposed to be a goodbye, but it played like a premiere. A cinematic spectacle where grief met branding and the line between tribute and theater dissolved under the spotlight. Erica Kirk stood at the center like an actress in a role written by fate. Her every move dissected, her every silence recast as strategy. Cameras panned across the casket, the crowd, and her perfectly poised smile. And for millions watching online, mourning turned into mystery. Candace Owens' insinuations suddenly felt prophetic. Elon's cryptic tweets read like foreshadowing. Critics saw choreography, supporters saw composure, and the internet, that endless courtroom of half-truths, turned a funeral into fuel. It wasn't about what she did or didn't do. It was about what people needed to believe. And in that moment, Erica Kirk Kirk stopped being a widow and became a story. Curated, criticized, and consumed by a world that confuses tragedy with content. And that's when Candace came back swinging, but this time she wasn't alone. The Candace and Elon tag team. If you thought the internet would cool off after the funeral, think again, because that's when the dynamic duo of digital chaos decided to step in together. Candace Owens and Elon Musk, the queen of conservative controversy and the billionaire bard of free speech, effectively teamed up without even having to DM each other. It started subtly. Candace went live again, this time doubling down. She didn't mention Erica by name, but she did say something along the lines of, "Some people cry in public, others cash in private." That sentence alone sent conservative Twitter into meltdown mode. Within minutes, #Erica Kirk trended again, and so did #Candace was rewrite. Then Elon, the man who never met a scandal he didn't want to meme, liked the clip. That single blue heart was enough to set off alarms across the internet. Influencers screenshot it, podcasters debated it, Reddit declared it a silent alliance. Commenters were saying things like, "Oh, it's official. Candace and Elon are tag teaming the truth." And it didn't stop there. Elon followed up with another cryptic post. "Public relations is just propaganda with better filters. The timing? Perfect. The implication? Obvious. The engagement? Astronomical." In a single day, Erica Kirk went from being a trending widow to being the headline character in what users were now calling the Great Conservative Conspiracy. Every reaction video, every live stream, every thread kept looping back to Candace and Elon. Their combined influence was like pouring rocket fuel on a rumor. Suddenly, people were connecting their worlds, politics, tech, ideology, and turning it into one giant story about power, control, and who's really running the movement. And while all this was happening, Erica still said nothing. She stayed off camera, off script, which made people talk even more. Some said her silence was her only defense. Others said it was her admission of guilt. The internet's logic: if you don't clap back, you're confirming the story. Within hours, TikTok was flooded with mashups. Candace's monologue, Elon's tweet, and funeral clips playing under ominous music. Commentators started joking that this was the Candace and Elon crossover episode we didn't know we needed. But behind the memes was a real shift. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was turning into digital warfare. Candace and Elon had successfully done what no PR team could, made Erica the most talked about woman in conservative America. The leaked messages allegation. But just when you thought the story couldn't get any messier, the internet found a new villain. Not in the spotlight, but in the screenshots. Because the next twist came with leaked messages that promised to blow everything open. The leaked messages allegation. Just when the internet was running out of new angles, the plot thickened. And I mean Netflix finale thickened. Out of nowhere, screenshots began circulating in group chats and Telegram channels. Messages allegedly between Erica Kirk and her media team. No timestamps, no verification, just a bunch of grainy iPhone captures and usernames blurred so poorly they might as well have been labeled fake but fun. Still, that didn't stop the internet from turning those blurry pixels into gospel. The alleged text showed Erica coordinating media optics and discussing a rollout strategy, all dated suspiciously close to the funeral. One supposed message even read, "Make sure the lighting complements the floral theme. We need hope, not sorrow." Whether real or fabricated, it was perfect fuel for a narrative already burning out of control. Within hours, hashtags like #EricaLeaks and #MediaMorning started trending. Reaction channels broke down every screenshot like it was the Zapruder film. Candace went live again with that signature raised eyebrow, saying, "You see, I don't even have to say it. The truth says itself." Elon liked 3 tweets about emotional branding, and once again, the algorithm exploded. Meanwhile, journalists tried to verify the leaks, but the truth didn't matter anymore. Perception had already won. Podcasts turned the rumor into a digital crime scene. Commentators called it a masterclass in psychological manipulation, and meme pages were photoshopping Erica as a Bond villain holding an iPhone labeled evidence. The genius of the chaos? Nobody could prove anything, yet everyone felt convinced. Screenshots became scripture, podcasts became courtrooms, and Erica's silence turned from tragic to tactical, a quietness people now saw as proof of orchestration. Every time she didn't post, didn't respond, or didn't cry on cue, the story deepened. It wasn't reality anymore. It was theater. The clicks, the clout, the cash. And as the leaks kept leaking, one question became unavoidable. Who's really profiting from all this? Because at some point, the tears dried up, but the views, oh, those were still rolling in by the millions. The clicks, the clout, the cash. By this point, the Erica Kirk story had evolved past gossip. It was a business model. The line between breaking news and breaking views completely disintegrated. Every new clip, every repost, every fresh theory was feeding a hungry algorithm that couldn't tell the difference between outrage and entertainment, and honestly, didn't care. Let's be real, everyone was cashing in. Candace's live stream numbers skyrocketed. Sponsors lined up. Elon's engagement spiked, giving him another week of world's most talked about man status. Even small creators who couldn't spell Turning Point USA were making videos titled The Erica Kirk Conspiracy Explained, You Won't Believe #6, and raking in thousands of views. The clicks were flowing, and so were the payouts. It didn't matter that none of this was proven. In the attention economy, truth doesn't trend, emotion does. One YouTuber cries on camera, another does a reaction, someone else edits it into a short with dramatic music. Boom, instant virality. People weren't just reacting to the story, they were performing it. Outrage became an art form, grief became content, and everyone was competing to be the loudest mourner in the digital funeral procession. Meanwhile, Erica's image was everywhere. Thumbnails of thumbnails, titles with her name in all caps, face frozen mid-expression like a still from a true crime documentary. Her silence didn't stop the machine, it powered it. Every second she didn't respond was another round of speculation, another monetized moment. Even the defenders, the #LetErika crowd, were still contributing to the cycle, turning compassion into clout. By now, no one could tell if this was a scandal or a simulation. The story stopped being about what happened and became about how much it could earn. And that's the new digital law. Every tragedy has an affiliate link. The internet eats its own, but like all viral storms, this one had an expiration date, because the internet always gets hungry for the next disaster. And when it's done feeding on your story, it doesn't apologize, it just moves on. The internet eats its own. When the dust finally settled, the story didn't end, it evaporated. Candace went live about a new controversy, Elon found another cryptic tweet to like, and Erica Kirk was left in digital ruins, not from evidence, but from attention. The mob had eaten well. Outrage, speculation, memes, moral sermons. And like all viral feasts, it left no survivors, only screen grabs. What began as curiosity turned into cruelty, and what passed for truth was just performance art on autoplay. The same audiences who once demanded her downfall now preached forgiveness, unaware they were the reason she fell. Because the internet isn't a stage, it's a blender. It takes people, reputations, grief, and truth and turns them all into content. And in this new world, it doesn't matter if you're innocent, guilty, or misunderstood. The algorithm has already decided your story, and your only role is to watch it unfold. So what do you think? Is Erica Kirk the cold-hearted puppet master Elon and Candace hinted at, or just another casualty of the internet's 24-hour drama machine? Drop your take in the comments below. And if you love seeing power, politics, and gossip collide like a high-speed car crash, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because this show, oh, it's just getting started.